So apparently the supreme leader of Iran is unalived. Obviously, if you don't know, America and Israel have joined up to attack Iran, as Iran in recent weeks and months have basically threatened America into um, carrying on making their missiles, their nuclear bombs, and they even chanted death to America, right? And Donald Trump has come out with a speech. I think it was earlier today, I'm pretty sure, or yesterday, just before the attacks, on why he is attacking Iran. Now, first, we're going to get into this article because obviously we want a backstory. And as you can see, it says Israel's Netanyahu says signs to point to Khamenei being dead. Is basically he's the supreme leader. Following US and Israeli strikes on Tehran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there were more and more signs that Iranian Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been eliminated. Why is it not moving? So what you need to know, the US and Israel have launched a major attack on Iran. Tehran has responded by firing missiles at Israel and targeting US bases in Gulf countries. After Israel targeted Khamenei's compound, Netanyahu hinted that the Ayatollah was unalived. The US military says Iran dealt minimal damage to its installations, no reports of American casualties. Both US President Trump and Israeli PM Netanyahu are urging Iranians to overthrow the regime. Germany, France and the UK have condemned Iranian counterattacks in the region. So yeah, basically, obviously, America and Israel did attack first, and apparently they got who they wanted, which is the supreme leader. However, Iran is trying to hide this from them. Basically, I'm not sure if he's passed away or not. However, apparently they're trying to hide if he is, they're trying to hide the fact that he has passed away, because no one really knows the confirmed facts. Iran's regime deeply entrenched. After US President Donald Trump called on Iranians to rise up against the religious regime, Professor of International Relations at the London School of Economics, Fawaz Gerges, told DW that this could be suicidal for tens of thousands of Iranians. He said the Iranian government still has a significant popular base of support, which means an uprising could lead to civil strife. The Iranian leadership is deeply entrenched. They have time to plan and to coordinate their actions, and I think they're planning for a long war. Gerges added, nothing that the consequences for both the Iranian people and the region could be catastrophic. As you can see, let's play the video.
The U.S. has a range of military capabilities in the region, but they take time to deploy. The USS Abraham Lincoln Aircraft Carrier Group has moved from the South China Sea to the Arabian Sea, a journey of at least a week. There are F-15E fighters already in the region, as well as the possibility of missile strikes. But the U.S. has decreased its military presence since last year's 12-day war in June that pitted the U.S. and Israel against Iran, when there was another full carrier group in the region. Likely targets for a U.S. attack would be bases and headquarters of Iran's elite revolutionary guards. Iran's ballistic missile program and air force would also be on the target list, and quite possibly the leadership itself. Iran's nuclear program would also be a possible target, but analysts say that after U.S. and Israeli airstrikes last year, the regime has likely moved its facilities around to make them harder to hit. Trump has promised no U.S. boots on the ground. Iran says it will hit back hard in response to any strike, whether there are boots on the ground or not. There are well over a dozen U.S. bases near Iran, many within easy striking distance. Iran also says it would hit Israel. With significant possible downsides to an attack, it remains to be seen if protesters in Iran can rely on the U.S. to help them.
Obviously, if you don't know, they even targeted Dubai. They went for Abu Dhabi. I don't know where in Abu Dhabi, but they hit a building in Abu Dhabi, apparently aiming at Americans. I'm pretty sure. So let's carry on here. I think the overarching strategic, oh, 1 second, aim of Donald Trump and Netanyahu is a regime change in Iran. The overarching aim of Iran's regime is basically resilience, resistance, to basically absorb the first and the second and the third shocks and basically continue to resist, even though what we have seen so far is a minimalist response on the part of the Iranian government. Proof of Khamenei's death reportedly shown to Netanyahu. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu was presented with proof that the Iranian supreme leader Ali Khamenei had been killed in the joint US-Israeli strikes on Tehran this morning. So, according to the report, Netanyahu and the heads of Israel's security establishment saw a photo of Khamenei's body separately. Israel's public broadcaster Khan reported Khamenei's body had been located. Now, I don't know how true that is, because obviously they might be telling the truth, but obviously it's America and Israel, bro. You're not really trying to take a word of mouth. If there's a picture of him, you see how when they were fighting Palestine, every leader, they were taking a picture of him and making it public. They put it on the news. So why are they not doing the same thing with this guy? You get me? They hate this guy as well. So if we ain't seen the photo yet, it shows. I don't think it happened. But this was Trump's speech before he went on the attacks, basically explaining why they're going. But I don't know how much of this we're gonna believe, because obviously these man, they're not really believable people. They've done worse things in their life. You know what I mean? And even now, I don't think they're aiming at civilians, but civilians are going to be impacted, especially if you're trying to go for someone that's hiding. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's watch this.
For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 44 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October.
Are you actually deep in it? My man is the biggest hypocrite, bro. All I'm hearing is just hypocrisy. Man said, "Oh, the guy soaked other people with blood and that." But bro, you know how much blood America's got on their hands. You know how much blood Israel got on their hands. Bro, it's all hypocrisy and propaganda at this point, bro.
Seventh attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We are going to annihilate their Navy. We are going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
Guys, if you know about America, you've known that this is not the first regime that they're trying to take down. Obviously, maybe they are a bad regime. However, there's other people as well that they have no proof on. A lot of them. I'm not gonna say names because maybe they have, but from what I know of, they didn't have proof. They entered countries thinking that these men were bad people and they were holding nuclear weapons. However, nothing was found. And what they did was they took over the regime. They handed the people over to handed the government over to the people, and obviously, the people in any government are always gonna feel betrayed at some point, bro. Even the people in England, they feel like the government hates them. But you know how much the government does for the people in England, bro. You know what I mean? They give them everything. So, yeah, you giving a government to the people just shows. Obviously, that's what you want. That's not what the people maybe want. But I'm not really too knowledgeable in this. However, I do know what he's saying is all hypocrisy. They've done this with so many people, so many governments. They've entered countries without permission and, yeah, basically killed off the government. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. I ain't gonna talk too much, but they're doing the same thing. I don't know if they killed the supreme leader yet, but that's what they're aiming for. They're gonna take a picture of him, put it on the internet. They're gonna feed it. If he ain't dead, they're gonna feed him to the people and make him get hanged. You know what I mean? Same thing happened with a lot of the other ones. If they didn't get hanged, they got killed by their own people. But we'll carry on watching this.
For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America.
Nah, whatever, mate. But guys, like I said, bro, I don't believe he's going in because of nuclear weapons, bro. He just doesn't like the guy. They've been talking bad on Iran for like 20, 30, 40 years, bro. There's literally video clips of Netanyahu talking about it like 30 years ago, talking about like other things as well, like Iraq and that. But what did they find in Iraq? They killed off the guy. I don't know if the guy was bad or not, but regardless, they fed him to the people. The people killed him off. Gaddafi, same thing. And yeah, they're about to do it to another Muslim leader, bro. If you actually clock, they're all Muslim leaders, bro. But yeah, man, that's Iran. This is basically the beginning, bro, of the attacks again. Obviously, they've already went back and forth before. However, I think this is a major one because obviously USA have decided to join in on the attacks, and so of Israel. So yeah, man, we're gonna see. I don't know if it's World War III. I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. We're just gonna have to let it play out for now, because obviously it's just the start of the war. Well, not even a war, just the attacks, and we're just gonna see how Iran respond. Obviously, apparently they have threw missiles back, but nothing's been intercepted yet, so I'm not too sure where the missiles went. But yeah, man, it's been your boy PP24. Is any more updates on this situation, man? We'll keep you updated. Let me know what you think on the situation, bro. What do you think it's going to be World War III? Do you think other countries are going to join in? I'm not too sure. We're just going to have to let it play out. But yeah, man, it's been your boy PP24s, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.